The first time is absolutely irresistible. Absolutely irresistible. You know, you take that first hit, and you're not in control whatsoever. You might think you are, you might think you got it under control, but you're not. I overdosed 7 times over the course of 5 years.
If I kept doing heroin, I'd probably be dead right now. I would have overdosed, or I would have committed suicide.
You're playing with life and death when you pick up the first one. That's all there is to say. You're playing with your life when you're sticking a needle in your arm.
Is it ever going to end? Chasing a feeling just leaves me reeling back to a familiar friend. I can't believe what I have become, and here it comes again. Bite like a tiger back on my heels now. I don't know how.
Been doing this for long enough to know that it's a huge surge, especially over the past couple of years. And I'm seeing a lot more young people, especially, I mean, these are children getting addicted to heroin. And that's a big problem.
I always thought of like drug addicts like they come from like poor families and like they don't have many teeth and they're dirty looking.
I've had a lot of friends who have gone through this path that started off drinking, and I'd see them a couple months later and they had a needle in their arm, and that took them years to come out of. And these are smart, intelligent people I went to college with.
The kids that we see coming in here are athletes, they're our cheerleaders, they're our kids next door, they're babysitting our children. These are the kids that you would never, ever peg as a heroin addict.
Heroin has been around for a long, long time. It's actually synthesized from morphine, which is a natural narcotic, and is a pain reliever.
I think we have really noticed an increase in heroin use, especially because of the increase in prescription pills.
Prescription pills now have just busted out wide open as a consuming problem with kids.
I started messing around with prescription pills that I found in my house, Vicodin.
I began to chase Vicodin, Oxycontin.
When you take a pain medication like Oxycontin or Vicodin, whatever, the way it works, it attaches itself to what they call opiate receptors. Now, these are in your brain, and what it does is it masks the pain. Heroin also goes after the pleasure area of the brain. So the first 3 or 4 minutes of ingesting heroin is called the rush.
I would fall back wherever I was on a bed and like just a whole, I don't even know how to explain it. It was like a numbness.
Now, the reason that they go to heroin from the pain relievers is simply because the pain relievers cost a lot of money, and you can get heroin for a nickel a bag.
You know, here I am, I'm paying $70 for an Oxy 80.
So dealers are actually steering them towards heroin because it's the same high. It's the same level. That's why they call Oxycontin hillbilly heroin, because it's the same level of high. And so you got a lot more kids trying heroin today than you ever did.
The access to heroin it's so easy. I mean, it's just as easy. It's cheaper than buying a 6-pack of beer.
Kids especially, what we've seen is that they think, well, pills like Oxycontin isn't as bad as me being a heroin addict.
So when I'm calling a parent and the student's like, just don't tell them I did heroin, tell them it was a Percocet or tell them it was an Oxy. They'd rather be, so it's still a little dirty. Like there's still a perception like there's something really bad about heroin. Don't let them know I'm that bad.